All right, this is Jeremy Vance Suarez, interview 3, one and only take. Let's do it.
This is so exciting
I know, right?
to be doing this in the comfort of my own couch.
Yeah.
This
Nice,
is
huh?
really nice.
The luxury in it.
I already the vibes are already so different for this year. Wow. I'm Jeremy Van Suarez. I am 24. I turn 25 next week. And today's date is November 1st, 2022. I have, as I check my phone, 862 followers. And I'll check my phone. Well, I certainly have more followers than that now. I now have 994 followers. This close to 1,000. Well, now I have 1,130 followers, so I broke the 1K mark. Yeah! Yeah. Last year, at my last culture shock at SUNY Purchase College, in which my caption is simply just hire me, #model. It has 200. Still have that shirt. Likes. I wore that shirt for my Bad Bunny Halloween costume. That picture actually went down. One like. Why? Don't know, but that's fine because I have a new most liked photo. It is me after I got my fresh cut. 218 likes. What's up with that? Okay, so that photo is still my most liked photo, but it's at 216 likes. So 2 people disliked it. Whatever, guys. Year 1 of Black Wolves has been slightly off course from what we originally planned. As I'm sure you were aware, it was a whole thing going on. But it's been really fulfilling to be able to do great work with my best friends and just be able to work on our terms, problem solve with each other, but that doesn't get in the way of our friendship. Yeah, overall it's been, like I said, fulfilling. So year 2, I reflect on year 2 of Black Wolves. It's been an incredible experience seeing us continue to move forward and progress towards bigger dreams and bigger aspirations, whether it's experimenting with our podcast or working on new music videos, providing our services to other people, hosting master classes. We have just continued moving forward. And even though it's a challenge being a starving artist in New York City, the art is always worth it. Being a part of Black Wolves is always worth it. Oh, absolutely shooting my upcoming music video for whatever. I don't know if it's going to be out by the time this interview drops, but it will be out before the end of the year. And it was just something that I conceptualized from beginning to end. I had such a clear vision in my head. And that day feels like a dream. It was 10 in the morning. We were on the beach on the first day of fall, and it's raining. And Logan's in a deep Grand Plie, like in the water, trying to get my shot as I'm taking inspiration from Star Wars. And there's a hot shirtless guy with a motorcycle helmet somewhere behind me. Like, it feels so surreal. And I almost passed out that day, and I low-key waterboarded myself for the video. Like, it's crazy. But just the fact that we were just all on it the whole day, the highs and lows of that day, the roller coaster of an adventure that day was. Yeah, I really, really loved that day. Directing The Actor's Nightmare in my senior year of college. So we go from one senior year to another. I like watching myself. Everyone worked together so well. The term family in theater is overused a lot. It opened my eyes to the power that theater can have, not only on an audience member, but working on it yourself. It could be cathartic, it could be therapeutic, and just being able to see all my actors and months of hard work be put on stage, and just seeing
my actors just having fun.
That last part, I was thinking about my favorite moment in my career up until I got to that last part where I'm talking about the catharsis that comes.
Different earrings are this year.
So I'd have to say my favorite moment in my career was this past summer working as a theater director at Camp Ballet, where I directed my first musical. The effect that this show had on these kids and the audience and how we all like bonded together. We were all able to like share our emotions with each other and be sad and be happy together, and just like that really left like a stamp right on my heart.
Yeah, talk about a stamp of permanent ink too. I'd have to say that's still my favorite moment in my career. Just being able to direct all these kids as they are transitioning into adulthood, into this new, scary, but freeing place in their lives, and being able to help them accept that they'll never be those kids again. Yeah, I think about that a lot. Really good time. I think the most important thing to me right now is being honest with the people that I love and I care for. I feel like I've really felt a growth in me in these past few years. And as I'm experiencing things, experiencing new friendships and new relationships, it's weird hearing myself talk and be honest and vulnerable in those moments, because I'm hearing where I wanted to be years ago. And it's so surreal knowing that I've made that journey and I've crossed that line and I am closer to who I want to be than who I was before.
Probably like my happiness. Not that I haven't been happy, but it's been a long time getting that happiness back. And I feel like I've finally grasped it again. So holding on to that and remembering what makes me happy.
I think, and this might sound very millennial of me, I think my most important thing right now is my phone.
It still is, obviously. I mean,
I left in 10 hours of screen time yesterday.
I don't even want to look at my screen time right now. I don't think it's 10 hours.
Interstellar, directed by Christopher Nolan.
Still love
It's such
Interstellar.
an ambitious,
Still love it.
overarching tale of space and finding a habitable world, but at its core,
You guys were probably
it's
laughing
about
at me
love.
off screen.
It's about the connection between
I don't want to say
father
that.
and daughter.
Oh.
And it's
I know what I was going to
as
say.
we see
Something
in another
tiny
character,
related.
just lover and lover. And how
It's still, we'll get to that.
love is the one thing that can transcend space and time.
Okay. I admit it. I liked Tenet.
I loved Tenet.
I don't know if you've seen the
I was
podcast.
underselling myself,
I don't know if
I
you've
still
heard,
do.
if you've talked to me at all this past year, but I really like Tenet, alright? It's trippy, it's Christopher Nolan, it's messing around with time. John David Washington is freaking credible. The music, I don't know if it
The music. Oh my gosh, I've listened to that album so many times this year.
It's just like when you
Great
see a
battle
movie
music.
and you can't stop freaking thinking about it for like almost a year at this point, it has to be good at some point.
Yeah? All right, I got 3 movies to add to that. First up, Dune. I can't wait for the next Dune. Just a beautiful fucking adaptation. I could literally see the words from the page of the book on the screen in just like a glance or a facial expression. And Denis Villeneuve just has an eye for production design and computer graphics and making it feel like what's not really there is there. It's just such an incredibly well-made movie. Also, Drive My Car is just like, if you're a theater person and you have literally any sort of opinion towards Uncle Vanya, like, or just any basic understanding of just like how theater production works, then you will appreciate Drive My Car even more. Just the fact that it's like a story within a story, and it's heartbreaking and so beautifully shot and so real, and like watching it made me like it helped me through some trauma. Gotta be real. It really did. And then third, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know. I feel like the title says it all. It's everything I could have ever wanted from a multiverse movie. All the performances are incredible. The costume, the music, the story, and like every person I've showed it to has cried and laughed and gasped in disgust and horror. And I want to see this film nominated for like every single category possible, because it was and still is the it moment of 2022.
I'll include both of these since they were filmed on the same day. The Lucy acoustic cover and the Neon Burgundy Ride music video.
Yeah.
The reason those are my favorite Girl in Black music videos is because
They look so sexy side by side too.
right? We filmed each other, we directed our own videos, we edited our own videos, our own vocals, we mixed
You're so
everything.
good at
Like,
it,
we
guys.
did like
What the fuck?
all of our songs, like one man teams, you know, kind of working together. I had never directed or edited like a music video before that, and I just kind of like went head first into it. I'm really proud of those two videos.
Favorite year 2 video, I do love the Rolling Stone cover that I did, Rolling Stone by the Weeknd. That was another thing where I just had the idea and I was just like, this is exactly how I want to execute it. But I also really, really like our pack cast, especially our like Spider-Man No Way Home and the Batman like spoiler cast episodes, just because we really enjoyed those movies, and just being able to talk about it endlessly, everything that we loved, even the things that we might not have liked. But I don't know, I just like, I really felt the synergy on like both of those days. So those 2 specific episodes I really like, but the podcast in general. Come on.
I think unresponsiveness, acting like you don't care. There's like the trope that it's like, oh yeah, all the cool kids act like they don't care, but I don't think not caring is cool.
It's like not communicating. I know I can be guilty of that sometimes. The biggest
You
issue
see
that
a
I have
pattern
with
here.
any of my work so far this year has been like, just like sometimes it's like there's not communication, and I'm like, how the hell do I know what I'm supposed to be doing here? You're my boss. Anyway, communication, and not just like in a workplace environment, but like feelings as well. I think there's less pet peeves and more just things I want to see improve. Like, I guess sometimes they can go hand in hand.
Pet peeves, just like acting like we're still in college or high school when we're both like well into our mid-20s. Like, come on, just be an adult. Just be an adult about things. There's no reason to fucking nip and play fucking games, especially in a workplace. Least favorite trend has to be an over-reliance of CGI in movies. Marvel, I love you, but it's too much. I've watched too many YouTube videos about VFX that I can clearly tell when something looks bad. Let's go back to, let's find a good middle ground between CGI and practical effects, because practical effects are timeless. Jurassic Park still looks incredible. And movies from 5 years ago that were really heavily based on CGI, they don't look as good anymore. So let's maybe find a good middle ground between the two so that your movies last longer.
I'd probably say James Blake.
This is your job.
Okay, I have 2 answers.
James Blake also.
One would be, and I felt like this is like a very obvious answer if anyone knows me, Frank Ocean. Gosh, Frank, you're so talented.
Actually, I don't know if I want to meet my heroes. I feel like I want to love
You're
Frank
so
Ocean.
talented. I want to work.
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm worried.
Like, be in a room with you and like have a goal and be able to do that goal with you. And my other answer is, have you heard of this underground director called Christopher Nolan? I don't want to be
So
confused
funny.
when I'm on set, but I also want to be doing like cool stunts and shit. Like, I want to be directed by Christopher Nolan. I think whether it is a fictional time-bending story or whether he's crafting a story about World War II, that this man has an incredible like attention to detail and attention to nuance, and just like being able to share that same brain space.
Brain
space. Yes.
Yes. All right. 2 dream artists, Ludwig Göransson, who did the score for Tenet and The Mandalorian. His production is just off the wall, period. And number 2, Denis Villeneuve. I feel like I already explained why I'd want to work with him when I talked about my favorite movies. He knows how to create a world in a single shot. And I think that's absolutely incredible. I think my favorite artist right now is Rosalia. And I think a lot of people give her flack because she is a Spanish, being from Spain, artist who uses a lot of Afro-Latin musical influences, but she gives credit where credit is due. She always does. It's never like, I am the one who originated this. It doesn't seem like she has like an ego when it comes to this. It's like, this is the music I listen to and this is the music I want to make. And in a lot of ways, I relate to her, just being like, the music that I grew up listening is the music that I take from when I make my music. Her lyrics are beautiful. Her voice is incredible. She's genre bending. She's fucking sexy. She knows how to make a TikTok trend. And Bad Bunny. Not just because I look like him, but because he is a breakout artist in the United States, like constantly breaking records, making incredible music, breaking gender norms, stepping on toxic masculinity that has always been rampant in the Latinx community. It feels good to grow up in a time where Latinx artists are popping up everywhere in American music culture, because it gives people like me and my younger cousins role models to look up to.
Favorite artist right now?
I think I said Baby Keem.
I really have a thing for Baby Keem right now.
Yeah.
He's
He's still
just
really
like one of the like, newest voices in rap, and like a lot of inspiration from like Kendrick Lamar and like Kanye West, and like those are also some of my inspirations. Yeah, Baby Keem, new voice in hip hop. Check him out if you haven't.
I'm gonna say James Blake again. It's mainly the
Don't
growth,
agree with it at all.
just seeing where he's been and where he is now.
Also, just bouncing off of that, The Weeknd as well. That's another artist who I've been with for a very long time, and just seeing how he constantly is trying to make new strides.
He didn't even come up with
in
Dawn
his
FM at this
career.
point.
Really freaking
Past Jeremy, you don't even know what's about to happen.
And you can see an artist's growth. It's so satisfying.
This is just side note. This has been such an incredible year for music. It's okay to stop and take a breath sometimes. That's it. It's okay to do that.
So we live in a capitalist society, right?
Where am I going?
And
Where am I going with this?
a lot of times we have pressure on ourselves as artists to put on the greatest show performance on earth. But sometimes we forget that the road to that great performance should be just as enjoyable.
It's the journey.
Sometimes
It's the journey. It's the journey.
it is about the journey and not the destination.
I was fresh off of Battle Bay. It's the journey was the motto there.
Don't give up. Why give up?
Also,
What are the benefits of
Yeah.
giving up?
why give
Because
up?
at the end of the day, you should do what makes you happy. Not what makes anyone else happy. It's about what makes you happy. If you're happy, other people will be happy.
That's a smart dude.
3 years running, still smart dude. just more queer stories. I feel like there was a lot of debate with Bros and the release of that. I saw it. It was a fun movie. But what I appreciated more was just seeing just queer people on a screen. Doing good things, doing bad things, talking shit about themselves, talking shit about other people. Just queer people living their lives. More stories. More queer stories.
More diversity. I know I said it last year, and it's like
Still,
we're seeing more we're seeing more inclusion both on camera and behind the camera, but like, let's go, people. Come on. It's not that hard.
Diversity. More LGBTQ plus writers and actors and producers and casting agents. I want to see more diversity in every single aspect of the arts world.
and I still do. And it's nice, it's nice watching a horror movie where our lead is just a woman of color. It's nice. Those little things add up. They mean a lot.
I definitely use Twitter the most because honestly, it's where I get a lot of my news.
I don't like to get my news from Twitter anymore, but it is Twitter. I say TikTok likes to tie into it. The music app, Apple Music, is obviously like first, but like Twitter.
It is sadly TikTok. It's a hole. It's bad. Biggest thing I'm working on right now is my next album. I know usually this question is like, how are we working on ourselves? But this album is me. It's a new side of me. It's a continuation of Neon Burgundy's story. It's sexy, it's dancey, it's fun. It's still sad, but like, you still want to shake your ass, and that's always kind of what I strive for. Like, can you cry to it? Can you twerk to it? Then mission accomplished.
Just trying to find the next step. Dealing with that pressure of balance between wanting to be productive and hit the ground running, but also letting myself know that it's okay to have fun and be bored. Yeah, that's all I got for you.
Overthinking. I feel like that's something that I've always struggled with, but especially now that I'm home,
Thanks, therapy.
alone with my thoughts a lot.
Yeah, seriously. I guess if I had to like answer it in the vein of like struggle, it would just be continuing to be vulnerable and opening up and asking for help instead of people asking me if I need help. Just prepare. You were pretty prepared to begin with, but you're going to go through a big change in jobs and in life and your living situation. So I think you could be a little bit more prepared. You were fine. You turned out fine, clearly, but prepare.
And now look down the barrel of the thing and talk.
Should I not see what I said to myself?
You should.
This is the scariest part of this interview.
Hey,
Hey.
how's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Your hair is fair.
It is.
I bet you've come out with more music by then. I'm sure you've discovered more about yourself. And I'm proud of you. Like, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are in the world, I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Mwah! Stay lit.
Always am. Always am. A little emotional from that. Hey, right now you are in a very special place. And you're hoping that wherever you are a year from now, that you're going to be happy you experienced it, whether it turns out good or bad. Right now you're just grateful for the people in your life. So I just hope that you continue to be grateful and that you actually have new music by next year. Actually, this time. And that's it. Thank you so much for continuing to support Black Wolves. You can still find me on Instagram at BeFreeNB. Keep an eye out for new Neon Burgundy music videos, music, looks, category, sexy bitch, I'm the boss, alien superstar. Thanks, y'all.